Ladies and gentlemen, most people have no idea what is coming. Let me ask you something. If you knew a storm was coming tomorrow, what would you do today? Would you sit back and hope for the best, or would you prepare, secure your home, gather what you need, and make sure your loved ones are safe? Life is no different. The world is changing fast. The opportunities of yesterday may not be the opportunities of tomorrow. The dangers we ignore today could become the regrets of the future. And yet, most people, they just don't see it coming. They wake up, go through the motions, and assume everything will stay the same. But history tells us otherwise. Economies shift, industries rise and fall, fortunes are made and lost. And the difference between those who thrive and those who struggle, it's preparation, it's awareness, it's having the wisdom to see what others ignore. So my question to you is this: are you paying attention? Are you preparing for what's ahead, or are you letting life happen to you, hoping everything will just work out? Because, my friends, the future doesn't wait. And those who are ready, they don't just survive it, they own it. Change is one of the few certainties in life, yet most people resist it. They cling to what they know, what feels comfortable, and what has worked in the past. But the truth is, the world doesn't stop moving just because we want it to. Economies evolve, industries rise and fall, technology advances at an unprecedented pace, and the way people live, work, and succeed is constantly being rewritten. Those who recognize this reality and embrace it are the ones who stay ahead. Look at the history of business, finance, and even society. The companies that once dominated the market, giants that seemed untouchable, eventually faded away because they failed to see the shift happening around them. Blockbuster ignored the rise of digital streaming, assuming people would always want to rent movies the traditional way. Kodak dismissed the potential of digital photography, believing film would always be the standard. Taxi companies never saw ride-sharing services as a threat until it was too late. In each case, change was happening right in front of them, but they were too focused on the present to see the future. The same principle applies to individuals. People assume that the job they have today will always be there. They believe their skills will always be relevant. They assume the financial system will always operate the way it does now. But history tells a different story. Industries change, job markets shift, economic downturns come without warning, and those who fail to adapt find themselves left behind, scrambling to catch up. The people who thrive in any era are not necessarily the smartest, the wealthiest, or even the most talented. They are the ones who see change coming and prepare for it before it arrives. They don't wait until they're forced to adjust. They anticipate what's ahead and position themselves accordingly. They learn new skills before their old ones become obsolete. They invest wisely before the market shifts. They embrace new technology instead of fearing it. Yet most people resist change because it feels uncomfortable, it requires effort, it forces them to step out of their routine and challenge their own assumptions. They tell themselves, this is how it's always been, so this is how it will always be. But that mindset is dangerous. The world does not operate based on how we wish things would stay. It operates based on innovation, progress, and the natural evolution of industries and economies. Think about how fast things are moving today. Technology is advancing at a speed never seen before. Artificial intelligence, automation, and new business models are reshaping entire industries. The skills that were valuable a decade ago may not be relevant in the next 5 years. The financial systems people have relied on for generations are being questioned and restructured. And while some people are adapting, learning, evolving, preparing, most are standing still, assuming that things will remain the same. Those who recognize that change is inevitable and, more importantly, take action to stay ahead of it are the ones who will succeed. They don't just observe trends, they study them, understand them, and adjust their strategies accordingly. They don't let fear of the unknown paralyze them. Instead, they use uncertainty as motivation to prepare. Because in the end, it's not the strongest or the smartest who win. It's the ones who are willing to evolve. The future doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards those who are ready. Success isn't about luck or being in the right place at the right time. It's about preparation, awareness, and the ability to act when opportunities arise. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who hope things will go their way. They are the ones who take steps long before the moment demands it. Most people assume they have time. They believe they can start preparing someday. They think they'll save money when they make more, invest when they feel confident, or learn new skills when they need them. But the future doesn't wait. By the time most people realize they should have been preparing, the opportunity has already passed. The job market has changed, the best investments have been taken, and the doors they thought would always be open have closed. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive is simple: readiness. While some people wait for signs, others are already moving. While most react, the prepared take advantage. While the unready panic, the ready take control. When economic downturns come, those who planned ahead aren't scrambling, they're positioned to take advantage. When industries evolve, those who stayed ahead of the curve aren't worried, they're leading the way. Look at history and you'll see this pattern repeat. The people who build wealth, achieve success, and create lasting impact aren't the ones who get lucky. They are the ones who anticipated change before it happened. They understood that the future belongs to those who see what's coming and act before it arrives. The truth is, life doesn't slow down for anyone. You're either preparing for what's ahead or you're falling behind. The future doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who are ready. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to success. It keeps people stuck, hesitant, and unwilling to take action, even when they know deep down that they should. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of uncertainty. These emotions paralyze people, stopping them from making the very moves that could change their lives. And while they hesitate, opportunities slip away, the world moves forward, and those who take action get ahead. Most people see risks and immediately focus on what could go wrong. They think about the money they might lose, the mistakes they could make, or the embarrassment of failing in front of others. Instead of seeing opportunity, they see danger. Instead of seeing potential growth, they see possible pain. And so they do nothing. They stay in the same job even when they know it has no future. They avoid investing even when they know it could build wealth. They resist learning new skills even when their current ones are becoming obsolete. But what they fail to realize is that inaction is the biggest risk of all. Doing nothing doesn't protect you. It guarantees that you'll be left behind. The economy changes whether you participate or not. Industries evolve whether you're ready or not. Opportunities come and go whether you seize them or not. Playing it safe might feel comfortable in the short term, but in the long run, it is the surest path to regret. Look at the most successful people in any field, and you'll see one common trait. They take calculated risks. They don't let fear control them. They study the situation, weigh the risks, and then take action. They understand that failure isn't the enemy, stagnation is. Every mistake is a lesson, every setback is an opportunity to learn, and every risk is a chance to grow. Meanwhile, those who let fear dictate their choices live in a constant state of what if. What if I had started that business? What if I had invested earlier? What if I had taken that opportunity? These questions haunt people who played it too safe, who waited too long, who let fear steal their future. The truth is, the world belongs to those who are willing to step outside their comfort zones, those who take action even when they feel uncertain, those who understand that growth only happens when you push past fear, because in the end, fear isn't what holds people back. Their unwillingness to face it is. Preparation is the invisible force that separates those who struggle from those who thrive. It's not about being the smartest person in the room or having the most resources. It's about being ready before the moment demands it. The world is constantly shifting. Opportunities appear and disappear, and crises strike without warning. The ones who succeed are not the ones who react in panic. They are the ones who saw it coming and positioned themselves accordingly. Most people, however, do the opposite. They wait. They wait for the economy to collapse before they start saving. They wait for their job to be outsourced before they learn new skills. They wait until prices skyrocket before they think about investing. By the time they realize they should have taken action, it's already too late. This is how so many people find themselves in financial hardship, career stagnation, or personal frustration, not because they lack talent or potential, but because they failed to prepare when they had the chance. Opportunity rarely announces itself. It doesn't knock on your door and give you time to get ready. It arrives suddenly, and the ones who benefit are the ones who were already prepared to seize it. Look at any great success story, and you'll find that the person didn't just stumble into good fortune. They spent years preparing, studying, practicing, investing, and positioning themselves so that when the moment arrived, they were ready to act. The stock market is a perfect example. People wait until the news tells them it's time to invest. But by then, the biggest gains are gone. The investors who truly succeed don't follow the headlines. They prepare in advance, studying trends, analyzing patterns, and making moves before the rest of the world catches on. The same principle applies to business. The entrepreneurs who build billion-dollar companies don't wait until an industry is booming to get involved. They anticipate the shift, build their foundations, and are already established by the time everyone else realizes what's happening. But preparation isn't just about money. It's about every aspect of life. Think about athletes who train for years for a single competition. They don't wait until the day before the event to get in shape. They prepare daily, consistently, because they know that success is built long before the opportunity arrives. The same applies to personal development. The people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who start preparing when they see a challenge coming. They are the ones who make preparation a way of life. Yet most people don't live this way. They tell themselves that they'll start preparing someday. They say they'll learn about investing when they have more money. They'll develop new skills when they have more time. They'll take care of their health when they feel like it. But the truth is, life doesn't wait for anyone. The future is coming, whether you're ready for it or not. And those who prepare will not only survive the changes ahead, they will own them. Most people wake up, go through their daily routines, and assume that life will continue as it always has. They follow the same patterns, do the same work, and live in a comfortable rhythm that feels predictable. This sense of stability gives them confidence that tomorrow will look like today, and next year will be much the same as this one. But this mindset is dangerous. It blinds people to the reality that the world is constantly shifting, and nothing stays the same forever. Think about how many people were caught off guard by the major economic crashes of the past. The signs were there, markets fluctuating, industries struggling, companies downsizing, but the average person paid little attention. They assumed their jobs were secure, their savings were enough, and their routines wouldn't need to change. Then suddenly everything collapsed and they found themselves unprepared. It's not that the information wasn't available, it's that they weren't looking. They were living on autopilot, trusting that things would simply continue as they always had. This kind of blindness doesn't just apply to financial markets. It happens in careers, relationships, and personal growth. People stay in jobs that no longer challenge them, assuming that hard work alone will keep them moving forward. They fail to develop new skills because they believe what they already know will always be enough. They ignore the changing dynamics in their personal lives, expecting relationships to maintain themselves without effort. But time doesn't stop. Industries change, job markets evolve, and relationships require attention and adaptation. Living on autopilot means failing to question where you're heading. It means assuming that just because something has worked in the past, it will always work in the future. But that's not how success is built. Those who thrive in life are constantly reassessing, learning, and staying alert to the changes happening around them. They don't wait for the world to force them into action. They take control before they're left behind. The real danger of autopilot thinking is that it gives people a false sense of security. They feel comfortable because they believe they have everything figured out. But comfort can be deceptive. Just because something feels stable doesn't mean it's truly secure. A job that seems safe today might disappear tomorrow. An investment that appears solid could lose its value overnight. A skill set that once guaranteed success might become obsolete in a rapidly changing world. Awareness is the key to avoiding this trap. The most successful people in any field are not necessarily the most intelligent or even the most talented. They are the most aware. They see shifts before they happen. They question assumptions, and they stay ready to adapt. They understand that nothing is guaranteed and that the only way to stay ahead is to keep moving, keep learning, and keep adjusting. Most people live their lives thinking they have plenty of time to make changes. They tell themselves that one day they'll start preparing, one day they'll take things more seriously, but time moves faster than they realize, and before they know it, opportunities have passed them by. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle isn't luck. It's the willingness to stay awake, to pay attention, and to never fall into the trap of thinking that life will always stay the same. Most people underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. They believe success comes from big, dramatic moves, one life-changing investment, one perfect opportunity, one massive breakthrough. But in reality, success is built in the quiet moments, through the small, disciplined actions taken every single day. The habits you form, the decisions you make, and the way you spend your time all add up, shaping your future in ways you may not even realize. Consider how people think about wealth. Many believe that financial success comes from one brilliant stock pick, one lucky break, or one sudden windfall. But the truth is, wealth is built gradually. It comes from consistent investing, smart financial habits, and years of compounding returns. The person who sets aside a small amount of money every month, year after year, will almost always outperform the person who waits for the perfect investment but never takes action. The difference isn't intelligence or luck, it's consistency. The same principle applies to personal growth. People dream about success, but they overlook the daily habits that lead to it. They want to be in great shape, but ignore the small choices, what they eat, how often they move, whether they prioritize their health. They want to master a skill, but avoid the daily practice required to get better. They want to build a strong network, but fail to invest time in relationships. Over time, these small choices add up, determining who rises and who remains stagnant. Many people fail to see this because the results are not immediate. When they make a positive change, but don't see instant rewards, they assume it's not working. They start a business, but when success doesn't come overnight, they give up. They start reading or learning something new, but when they don't feel smarter right away, they stop. They start saving money, but when their bank account doesn't grow quickly, they spend it instead. What they don't realize is that success is happening just beneath the surface. It's like planting a seed. At first you see nothing, but beneath the soil, growth is taking place. Failure works the same way. No one ruins their life in a single moment. It happens gradually through small, daily decisions that seem insignificant at the time. The person who neglects their health doesn't feel the effects right away. The one who overspends here and there doesn't notice the financial strain immediately. The employee who stops putting in effort at work doesn't lose their job overnight. But over months and years, the impact becomes clear. Just as small positive choices compound into success, small negative choices compound into failure. This is why discipline is so important. It's not about motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you moving when you don't feel like it, when you don't see immediate results, when no one is watching. The most successful people in any field are not always the most talented or the luckiest. They are the ones who show up every day, even when it's hard. They understand that success is not a one-time event, but a process built through consistency. Every day, you are making choices that shape your future, whether your choice is leading you toward growth or keeping you stuck. Every action you take, no matter how small, is either building your future or holding you back. The challenge is that most people don't recognize this in the moment. They assume that skipping one workout, spending a little extra money, or procrastinating for just one more day won't make a difference. But what they fail to see is that these small choices accumulate over time, creating momentum, either positive or negative. Look at the most successful people in any industry, and you'll notice they have something in common, a commitment to the process. They don't rely on motivation alone because they know motivation is unreliable. Instead, they develop habits and routines that keep them moving forward. They don't need to think about whether they'll work hard today. It's automatic. They don't question whether they'll invest in themselves, learn new skills, or take care of their health. It's already built into their lives. The mistake most people make is waiting for the right time to take action. They tell themselves they'll start eating healthy next week, they'll start saving money when they make more, they'll start learning a new skill when they have free time, but the right time never comes. There's always another distraction, another excuse, another reason to delay. What they don't realize is that the longer they wait, the harder it becomes, the deeper the habits of inaction become, the stronger the resistance grows. This is why urgency matters. The most successful people don't wait for the perfect moment. They start where they are with what they have. They understand that action creates momentum. Even small steps taken consistently can lead to massive transformation over time. They don't see progress overnight, but they trust the process, knowing that every effort compounds. Many people look at successful individuals and assume they have something special, a gift, an advantage, a secret formula, but in reality, their success is usually the result of years of unseen effort. The early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the discipline. None of it is glamorous, and most of it goes unnoticed. But it's what separates those who thrive from those who remain stuck. On the other hand, those who delay, hesitate, or wait for everything to be perfect end up missing opportunities. They spend years wondering why nothing has changed, never realizing that it was their own lack of action that held them back. The future belongs to those who move, who take risks, who push forward even when they don't feel ready. Because the truth is, no one ever feels 100% ready. The difference is that some people start anyway, while others keep waiting.